Welcome to She Says with your host, Stephanie Regalado. She Says guests share stories from their challenges to successes and, most importantly, the journey of womanhood woven alongside the collaboration of sisterhood. From self, love, friends and family, to hot topics, career, and worldviews, Stephanie and her guests discuss matters with utmost openness and honesty. So let's hear what she says. Here's Stephanie.
Hello, welcome to She Says. I'm Stephanie Regalado, your host. Super excited today to have Natalie Wood of Natalie Wood Designs in studio, which could not have been possible just a year and a half ago because you were in Texas.
Yep, I am a Texan transplant up here, which thank you so much for having me on the show.
My pleasure. So when did you begin your journey with Natalie Wood Designs? I know you'd been in retail.
Yes. So my husband and I started Natalie Wood Designs. We are a national jewelry brand that was founded in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
We moved our operations to the Spokane area about a year and a half ago. And so we're 2.5 years young. We're really trying to get ingrained in the community here in Spokane and just really start sharing our brand and making it part of the community.
I love that so much. And when I learned about your company, that's one of the things that excited me because we do have a lot of companies that are on a national or global scope who are headquartered in Spokane, but they aren't necessarily embedded in the community, or the community isn't necessarily on the top of their docket of priorities. So it was really exciting for me to hear that that was an important first step for you.
Oh, so important.
Instantly.
Just really because part of the reason my husband was born and raised here in Spokane.
Yeah.
So coming to and moving to Spokane is kind of like, we're calling this this is home now.
Yes.
We're really moving our operations up here. So now because of that, we're so community driven with our company, and we're just all about giving back. So it's just a no-brainer to really want to be part of the community here.
How did your journey begin with Natalie Wood Designs?
Oh, I have a very interesting backstory.
Hallelujah. We love them. Interesting.
It may surprise you, but I grew up wanting to be a doctor. Never have taken a jewelry design class in my life. No business classes. My story was literally I was going to be a doctor. I was going to go to medical school. So throughout high school and college, that was it. I applied to medical school.
Oh my gosh.
And just realized that God was just really pushing me towards a different direction. He started basically just tapping me on the shoulder saying, why is it that you want to do this? Is this really your passion? I had always been an artist and a very creative child who loved fashion. So I always knew I wanted to open a boutique or do something in the fashion space, along with, in my mind, being a doctor.
Right, yes.
Although that doesn't really work out. So I finally just really listened, changed my trajectory of my life, opened a boutique in College Station, Texas. Actually, when I was a senior in college, I went to Texas A&M University and opened a women's boutique and really learned all about retail, fashion, grew the boutique to be a really successful business that's still there. But at that time, just really felt like I had this passion for working with women and really felt like there weren't enough businesses that were focused on really inspiring and encouraging women within that fashion space. So I just felt that I needed to do something on maybe a more national scale. So I sold the business. My husband and I started Natalie Wood Designs with the sole purpose of really designing jewelry that women would feel beautiful wearing while inspiring and encouraging them to live beautifully. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
So I need to rewind because how did those around you experience the story when you shared you were shifting from medical school to boutique?
For me, I think I was the hardest hit just because I was so driven and I was so goal-oriented. So when I thought I would be a doctor for 20 years of my life, focusing on that, I had to really be okay with changing that myself. I had always been a very perfectionist person. So everyone was super supportive. My family, my husband, everyone just knew that I had a lot of, I guess, gifts that I needed to be able to use those. So they were super supportive.
What are some of the taps you felt like you received? Were there were moments that you can share that
Yes,
happened?
specifically, I joke with my friends that I would remember, I easily can remember what someone would wear to the Oscars,
Yeah.
designer, jewelry, everything like 10 years ago.
Oh, gosh.
And I cannot remember, like when I was taking, when I would take a test in college, I couldn't remember a disease. So I literally remembered it for the test.
Yes, yeah.
I made amazing grades in college. And after that, it would be like, oh my gosh, what was that again? Maybe
Yeah.
I should really start thinking of changing my career path because I don't think that'd be good as a doctor.
That's a tap. That's a good tap.
That's a good tap. That's a very good
But
one.
how do you shift from the very practical track of, I guess you really do know the trajectory of that. There's a lot of knowns when you go to medical school, still unknowns, but really it's embedded. A lot of people
Clear
have done
path,
that.
easy.
Clear path. How do you hop off of that and go into the space where there isn't necessarily
It's extremely challenging. I think that anyone who maybe started their own business would feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
It's that unknown space. Everyone is so comfortable in their comfort zone.
Yeah.
So, that trajectory, I could see I could see it laid out, it was a clear vision. But I just had to really trust my instincts and trust what I was being led to do. And with that, everything, it's like a door closed, but windows just started opening.
Well, and then it does go back to the trusting. I watched my best friend, Jennifer Evans, sent me a Tony Robbins video this morning. And one of the things that he said that really stuck with me was, we don't question the next breath of air that we're going to breathe. We just know it's going to be there. But so often we question everything else when we're trying to make a shift and we're stuck in a rut, but when we want to get out of it, or we're not happy with certain things, and we get in the way of making those major shifts like that, because it is difficult to go from a known path to that unknown path, no matter how passionate you feel. And I always talk about, sometimes you have that haunting. It's the one thing that doesn't go away when people are trying to wonder, like, what is my purpose? What is my passion?
Exactly. I think that a lot of people, you have that voice behind, that maybe a lot of people shut out or, just quiet. But it's really taking that leap and that jump, saying, I'm just going to trust that my instincts are correct. And
And then the whole build your wings on the way down.
Exactly. I love it.
I love that saying too.
Yes.
Well, it's incredible. And then the other cool part of your story too is you can take whatever your passions are, and those do become all the word that you want to live. Especially, it sounds like you're spiritual and you have that spiritual connection. But someone may say, well, how is jewelry going to change the world or make a huge shift or do God's work? I can see and I can hear in your story, but tell us more about that aspect.
So we are a faith-based company. We founded our company on, our values. I think that just ties in with wanting to inspire and encourage women. And really, I just felt like I feel like anyone in whatever career that they are in, you always have an ability to share your story or share, glorify, I guess, whatever you believe. And for me, it's glorifying Lord within our company and using that as a catalyst. But in the fashion space, sometimes you don't always find a lot of companies that are helping and really inspiring women and, helping them feel confident. And that's what I wanted to, I thought, so many women love jewelry, so let's just use our company as a platform that we can use it to really reach a lot of women and help them not only just not follow the trends, but just help women feel good and feel beautiful with whatever they're wearing. Yeah,
and the best part, and the whole scope of the fashion industry, the best part about jewelry is it's an enhancement. It's no one's telling you are less than if you don't have this.
Absolutely.
It's just your personal choice of what you feel adds to your sparkle. A friend shared an ad from the a recent Avon catalog that said, dimples are cute on your cheeks, but not on your legs. And I was like, no, that's not the kind of messaging we want to send anywhere.
No, not anywhere. At all. No.
So you have that. I mean, women have those sorts of messages coming at them all the time. So I can definitely see the connection that you are making with empowering women through their personal choice and giving them so many beautiful options that are also within their realm of possibility financially.
Absolutely.
Because you have a luxury jewelry line.
Yes. So we're all about designing affordable luxury. That's what we say, affordable luxury, because for us, I really wanted to design pieces that women felt that, met that luxury aspect, but were attainable.
Right.
That you could go in and buy a piece for yourself, but then also, your husband or significant other could go in and buy a piece as well as a gift. We design everything with the thought that a diamond would be set into our pieces, but we use products and materials that allow it to have that attainable aspect to it.
And what is the design process like for you?
Everything is hand sketched by myself. So there are so many designers out there that, hand make pieces or, just kind of just put together, assemble, beads and jewelry. But I really wanted to do something different and really take my love and my background as an artist and create unique pieces that you wouldn't see anywhere else. So every piece begins with a sketch, and then we have an amazing team that then brings it to life. So it's a really crazy, fun process. But
how did it start in your early days, just the very practical part of taking a drawing and then creating it into
it was,
works?
Like I mentioned, I had no jewelry design background. I had no knowledge of jewelry design. I just had a very clear vision of what I wanted the brand to look like. And I knew that it was possible because I saw other people doing it. So I used Google as my best friend, researched everything that I could, also picked up the phone, called people. There's so many amazing people that led me and kind of mentored and advised me on really how to make, I say I want to, I'm drawing the sketch. How do I now bring it to reality? So I basically just used resources that were available to me and learned.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so how did you take your jewelry line and have it go nationally?
So I had a background with retail on the other side. So going to market, I formed a lot of relationships with store showrooms and different brands. And I had that knowledge of, I saw it firsthand how they were doing it. It's very different when you're on the other side. But I definitely had some kind of knowledge there that helped me.
Yes. Well, and it's also, talk about being given more signs along the way when people see your work. It's one thing to have your dream and your sketches and create them, but to have people then desire them on a grand scheme and a grand level.
Yeah, we were very fortunate to win a award about a year and a half ago with the Belk department stores. It's in the Southeast, so a large department store in the Southeast, and we won the designer showcase. So we were immediately kind of thrust into the spotlight, and that helped us get recognition. And that just really helped, solidify us as a national player.
Right. That's so amazing. I want to talk a little bit more about that. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We're going to take a break and hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
She Says is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Custom lighting in the kitchen.
I'm into it.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and the description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
Welcome back to She Says. I'm Stephanie Regalado with Natalie Wood from Natalie Wood Designs. So you received this award about 1.5 years ago that really launched you nationally, gave you national exposure. How were you recognized for that award?
I had been, as soon as we knew we wanted to launch our company, I had been just really scouring emails and scouring department store contests and just really kind of whatever contest I could find that would help us, really kind of get our name out there.
Yeah.
And I found the Belk Southern Designer Showcase, and that was what I knew we were going to apply for it as soon as we launched, and it just worked out that they saw our line as something that would work well with their stores.
I think that's an amazing tip for anyone who has a creative aspiration or a business aspiration, to look for competitions.
Absolutely. And just really use the resources out there, just try to get your name out there as any way you can, meet people, call people, and just find those contests, which is great.
Well, it's amazing where we are today because all of that's at our fingertips on the computer.
I know, right? In Instagram,
and social media. I know,
and
because you can even message people and have great success that way through Instagram in particular. So just be bold, I guess, and share.
And it's hard to do, being bold. I definitely, that's my one advice to anyone that I meet, and especially anyone that kind of wants to go into the fashion industry or start their own business, is just being brave enough to just pick up the phone. I know you may get a no more times than a yes, but that yes is what I live for,
Yes, exactly. So your husband's name is Ken, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How do you have any insight now experiencing this with him, what it was like for him supporting you through your dreams in a zone that he doesn't necessarily 100% know or live?
Well, he jokes now that he now knows everything about jewelry.
Yes.
He can style someone, style a woman. But no, we're doing this 100% together. He's more of the business side and more of the creative side. Yeah. He's just an amazing support, and I could not do this without him, which is, it's just so much fun.
And then you brought another team member on about 1 year ago. You had a baby girl.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's how homegrown businesses are grown.
We are a family business, and we also have several interns that go to Gonzaga too, which is really neat to be now part of that community.
Yes. What has it been like transitioning from having all the time to create your business to having a little human, a little nursling along for the ride?
It's time management. You have to be very good at time management, which I definitely struggle with at times. I'm sure every mom would say that. But you just have to really kind of focus and put your priorities, in a certain way every day. And I just love her. It's made life amazing. Yeah. And she's growing up so fast. Wish she would slow down.
Is she walking?
She's walking.
Oh my
walking
gosh.
And starting to talk. And
that's such a magical time. So what is it like for you? What's a normal day? How often are you feeling not necessarily compelled, but drawn or inspired to create new jewelry? What is the process like of
We really have to start designing about 6 months out. So I'm already designing fall 2019. And just my day-to-day is just a mile a minute. Being a mom and a business owner, everything is different every day, whether that's contacting stores or reaching out on social media or having interviews like this. But then finding time to be with Parker too. But our process for designing that's when, if I'm focused on designing a collection, I'm like sitting down, head down, a coffee, just sketching the whole day, just trying to make something come to life.
And how many pieces are usually in a collection?
We usually do about 30 SKUs. So, and then that will be in different color waves. So it's usually around 100 total pieces per collection. And we're just about to launch our spring 2019 collection.
Oh, fun. And that has about 30
and
pieces
about 30 new styles. Yeah.
Okay. And that includes earrings,
necklaces, bracelets, rings. All different style, all different price points. We do a lot of metals and stones and semi-precious stones as well.
How do you continue in your niche when there's so much out there, especially in the industry of jewelry?
You have to just really be true to your brand. And for us, our brand identity is really strong in that we're really known for a lot of our metals and filigree, art, architectural kind of pieces. And just a lot of them incorporate our faith as well with crosses. So as long as we can really stay true to our brand and then kind of taking those aspects and incorporating it into new collections, it's hard to do, from a new designer. I struggle with that at the beginning to really find that voice and that identity with our brand.
Right.
But then once, your customers start responding and you start realizing, okay, this is where our brand is really shifting, it becomes easier and easier.
Yeah, because I would think the goal, so many times the temptation is to try to please a broad spectrum.
Yeah, and you start easily fall into that. So
yes,
easily.
yeah. But when you really focus on what your brand is and the niche of it, then you become recognizable and people will know by one glance that it's a Natalie Wood Designs.
And that's the hope, I feel like, for every designer is that when they can look at a piece, they know that that's a Natalie Wood Designs, or which that's what we're trying to do.
Yes. So what do you have a facility in Spokane that's producing your business, or where do you?
We work with an amazing manufacturer overseas that brings all of our pieces to life, but we do every design, everything up to the last step here in the States.
Yes. And
we just moved everything from Dallas, so we're in the process of getting our facilities up and perfect here, which area we really want to be, and then building that out to just keep on rolling.
Yes. And now, and they are in, your line is in locations here.
We were sold in a store right at the beginning when we moved here, a really well-known jeweler in Spokane Valley. It wasn't the best fit for our line, and we've just been growing so much nationally that we haven't had the opportunity to. We have so many stores that are inquiring in the area wanting to sell our line. Good. So we're just at the process now of which fit, which store is going to be the right fit. But you will find it very soon in stores across the area. I'm excited
to hear that. And there are so many amazing boutiques in particular.
There are. It's hard to really choose, right? Because there's so many great stores.
Yes. But one thing I love about the boutique experience, when they're doing well and they've lasted, they have their own flair and their own way to present themselves. So I'm sure that once you go inside and walk around, if you're at home and your jewelry line's at home. Yeah. What do you think is next? What's the next big thing for Natalie Wood Designs?
We just really want to just be a national presence, so that when you go into a store, you see a friend, they're wearing Natalie Wood Designs. Yeah. That's our mission, and just to really inspire and encourage women everywhere. That is the foundation of everything we're doing, is just to reach more women and help them feel beautiful and then wear their jewelry beautifully.
And what is the best method you feel that you've been able to share your brand story and really get people to understand?
Really, social media is amazing. It's been so nice to really form that community, which we are doing on Instagram and on Facebook, and just really being a presence in stores and doing a lot of trunk shows and meet and greets. It's just really nice to build that.
Yeah. I saw, maybe it's your spring line coming up. I'm not sure. I didn't check for a date, but I saw a video of, it was a gal on a bike. Is that your upcoming?
That was an old, it's an older dated, just a video, but we are just going to launch a lot of new videos. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see those. We'll post them on Facebook, on our website.
I love the message in the video. And it's amazing what you can convey in video when it's done really well.
Oh, thank you.
Just that free spirit, confident.
And just having fun.
Having fun.
We want to convey.
I love that. Where can people find your jewelry now? They can buy it online?
They can buy it online at nataliewoodesigns.com. We're also on Instagram, so you can go through our feed and see a lot of jewelry there. And then soon we'll be in stores here in the area.
Excellent. So again, what is your core value, mission?
So we're all about just inspiring women to just live beautifully. So we want to design jewelry women feel beautiful in, and then hopefully that just resonates and helps them just feel beautiful throughout their life.
Yeah, I love that. One question I like to ask guests, and it's a hit or miss with me, but if you had a snow globe and that was your life and you could shake it up and have pieces fall differently or the same or whatever, is there any way you'd want any of those pieces to fall?
That's a good question. I like that.
Differently?
No, I can honestly say that I feel like I'm exactly where God wanted me to be and has led me, and my life would, could be totally different, but everything has worked out for the best. And it's funny how you start seeing at the time, during my my hard, change of career choice, it felt like, nothing was going to turn out correct. But when you look back, everything just turned out for the best.
Well, and it's good to share that as part of your story too, those challenges, because it's not always just smooth hop. I had a heart, I followed it, and then glory be thy name down the road. But how did you survive those hard times?
A lot of prayer and a lot of family and just, just believing in myself and knowing that there is a much bigger and better plan.
Yeah, I love it. One of my favorite things is there is more.
There's so much more.
No
and
matter
just
what.
Believe that.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. And don't question where your next breath is coming from.
Exactly. I love that too.
And let that spread all over. Well, thank you so much for joining us,
Thank you so much,
Natalie.
Stephanie.
We're super excited to have you in Spokane.
Thank
you sound like you're
you.
going to be an amazing presence here of empowerment, and definitely I'm all about empowering women and bringing us together, celebrating one another, and adding to our sparkly selves. So
I love that. Well, thanks so much. I'm excited.
Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to She Says, and we will see you next time.
She Says is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content.